Welcome. This is Mr. Tackpans. I'm going to try to make this as easy as possible. Where should we begin? I'm usually always mixed up. One of the reasons for the misunderstanding of 5 is because the center of each one of these are 5, the heart. If you look at the ace, the 3, or the 5, because when Creator came, he created his space left 5, right 5. He has 10, plus the spot he stands on each time he moves. I come and stand on this spot, I move left. I'm standing on the left spot to move right 5, and then from center of the 2 5s, I move right 5, then I move left 5, so I've gone this way to this way, and this way to this way, 5, 5, 5, 5. The total is 625. The positions every time you move, 5 to 5 is 10. In order to get the square, it is 40. When man begins, it's 40 plus 1. The 1 you start, because who you are is 1. Although you stand at point 0, you are still 1. You have 1, 5, and come back 5. So therefore you are 5 and 1, 5 and 1, creating the line, which when you turn the line around, it creates the circle, A and E creates the O. And the O is, A and E is 1 and 5 equals O, and the total of 21. Now if you duplicate it and open it up, you no longer need the 1 you stand on, but the 20 you live in. 1 plus 20 equals to your 21 because you have the 1 in your heart. In area 5. So you get 41. So in Monopoly, when you begin the game, you actually start on reading. And it even shows you in the cards. It says, Reading Railroad. Take a walk on Reading Railroad. And you go all the way to short line because that's the 36th position. 3 and 6 is 9, your birth. 3 by 9 is 27. 2 and 7, or 72, is your red god. Your heart again. When you get to number 36 short line, plus number 5 on reading, you have a total of 41. 41 times each train of 5, 5, 5, and 5 equals to 25,625 of the Mayan count, and it gives you these numbers here. 1937 NIBIRU. See this, the Aleph letter? Here's the added on 3 into the 6th position of Saturn. Here's the added on 7 Uranus into the 4th position of Mars, between Mars and Venus, Mars and Mercury. This is your Aleph. It's the N. It's the 14th letter. The 14th letter in Rubik's Cube, 1 and 4 is 5. It's right at the heart. And in order to get there, there's 9 on top of Rubik's Cube, but there's 1, 2, 3. Move over to the center of the Rubik's Cube, and then 1 in equals to 14. 10 and 10, 10 and 10, 10 and 10, your 60-second clock. But you can only run this one here, which is your Magen David, and this one here. This one here makes up the 28 of the moon, and in roulette, 28 is black. This one here makes the 4 and 6, 10, plus the center of 15. The total of 10 in this one is your 10 is black in roulette, and your 28 is black in roulette. You pass through the center, this from here to here to here to here. These are your angles, and the distance on an angle is always longer than the distance straight across. Straight across. 292 is the number. Why? 555, 5 times 5 times 5 equals 125. Times 288, which was 2 days ago, equals to 360 degrees. But 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. Plus 15 is 140. 1 plus 40, or number 14. Back to the end, back on the cross. 40 is the game of Monopoly. We take this, we get 140, but every 0, 0 equals 6. So 146 twice, because of this one here and this one here, is 292. And when you count in Monopoly, you count the corner as 2 spaces, because it's, you see the size of this? It's 2. Then there's 9 properties, and there's 2. It's 292 all the way around Monopoly. And Monopoly is 40, plus 1 to go. You can never get the medication right because you never get to have the medication. The Mediterranean, because it's the first dice and you have 2 dice to start. God gets a dice and God would go 1, 2, 3 and his end would be on 6. Man couldn't start until the 7th gate. But there is no 7th gate because there is no man. So they create 1 to 9, then 10, then 11, and then it's a bat mitzvah. But we're going to get on to something else. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, hold on, let me see if we can get the camera off, is here. We were talking about 5, red. 1 and 4, 5, red. 2 and 3, 5, red. 3 and 2, 5, red, and it's all the 5s. Red in roulette is always odd. These are all odd. Odd, odd. 1 and 6 is 7 odd. 1 and 9 is 10. 10 is black here. How come it's not? Because the one spirit of the one birth is inside the same frame. Corner, 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 corner. 17 is black. 17 is the passage, okay? Now I cannot explain to you all of them, and I should be able to. This is the cat and the dog. This is ISON over here. When you go to NIBIRU, number 73, your number 73 is right here, creates the X. If you want to go again one more time with that X, it becomes right here. This becomes 2369, and this becomes 2369, 138, which is I cannot explain to you because I'm doing bits and pieces. This board here and this board here are the exact same. Reds, reds, straight line yellow, 2 blacks, 2 reds, 2 reds, 2 reds, 2 blacks, 2 reds. All these boxes are all here, 2, 4, 6, 8. Then you have 11, 13, 17, 15. You have the box here. Here it makes a home plate. Here again, 8 and 11 is 19. That occurs 3 times in French. It occurs 19, and then it reoccurs at 79 in French as 79, and then it reoccurs at 99 as 99, all saying add on 19. Now, there's another thing in our numbers in French, is that we don't start saying this set, which means 17 in French. We go 11, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15, 16. But in French, the minute we get to 17, we say 10 and then 7. And I'm assuming 10 and 7, 10 and 8, 10 and 9 are the first 3 after 1 to 6 on the first dice. God's creation, the first 3, and man comes in the second 3. God takes 9, man gets 3, and then God gets 6, as man gets 6, so God would work 9 and 6 is 15, and man wouldn't start till 13, because 19 and 91 is 72 apart. 19 and 19 is 38, and 38 is 76, and 38 is 114, and again, ISON is 114. It's the 3 little pigs and the passage of the wolf. Can't explain it to you any better than that, because I have to sit down, we have to go over the numbers, we have to understand the definitions, and then we can go through it. And yes, there's a better answer than mine. So what I'm trying to say right now is, how can I explain it? As 19 of NIBIRU, as ISON is coming, it relates to 55, 5 and 5. 19, 5 and 5. The center, okay, of right here, this over here, the center of this is 74. The total of this is the Twin Towers, 111. 17, 20, 14, 37. These are all numbers. This whole center here, which is the passage, equals to all 37. It's all NIBIRU. 57, okay, 20, 40, and 17. How would you get 57? 28 and 29. 28 is the moon, and 29 is the birth. This is the cycle of February. What does February mean? And what does this mean on the 29th leap year when there's a passage open because a birth comes? 29 and 28. February. This is where we live basically right here, on these numbers right here. Here's the you see this design? This design here? It's right here. This is basically we're over here, I'm assuming. Okay, I'm assuming. Don't forget, if you want to change it to planets, look at 4 squares, 4 different planets. Okay, so now there was something else I wanted to talk about, a lot of things. So now we know roulette is red, is odd, and red is odd, and black is even in the totality of the numbers. Where else was I going to go? Yes, then I was going to bring you to this grid over here. We were talking about all the 5s. Well, this number over here is 55, and it's gray, because all the 5s are passages. Here's 72, here's 27. 1 to 72, 1 to 72 equals 73. Again, NIBIRU. 7, 11, which means 7 and 2 is back to 9. 7 and 11, 1 and 1 is 2. 7, 2, 7, 2, 7, 2. Jupiter, Jupiter, Jupiter. 99, 99, 99. 30 is creation, a part of ISON. 42 is a number that is used in the center of creation by the Mayans, and I'm going to show you where that comes up right here. 13 and 1, 12 and 2, 11 and 3. Total is 42, 52, 56. 56 is 2 moons. 1 to 56 equals 57, and again, you're back to ISON. That's the end of this part. Let me see if I have any more to on the bottom of my screen. There's other things you can look at if you want. When you look at this Monopoly board here, hold on a second. When you look at the Monopoly board here, we cannot get this position over here, the Mediterranean, because we have 2 dice. This one is reading railroad. You see the way we have to follow all the way to the next railroad and all the way. You see the way I separated the board? I took the corners because in order to make this line over here across where the green is on the bottom left over to electric company, you have to box this in. This goes all the way down and all the way down, all the way down to here. Well, I don't have the color in it. And it takes up, this railroad owns 1 property to the left and 1 property to the right. So it owns the taxing property and it owns Oriental. This railroad owns Virginia and it owns St. James. This corner owns New York, Tennessee, Community Chest, Kentucky, Chance, and Indiana Avenue. Now this corner here is special because in this corner it's Marvin Gardens, which I'm assuming is California, and it's yellow. Don't forget, yellow and red create orange. Purple is created with what? A little bit of blue from this bottom hand corner here. How is green collected? You see the way they put yellow and green life together right next to go to jail? And this corner owns Waterworks, it owns Marvin Gardens, it owns Pacific Avenue, and it owns North Carolina, and that's where they just blew up that bomb. Okay, so this might be our corner because we're automatically in jail even when we're at home. And in this corner of Go, or should I go to the railroad again, owns Pennsylvania. And it also owns Chance. If you notice, there's a hotel on Park Place and it's red. The green is on Oriental, 2 hotels, motels, 2 motels on States Avenue, and 2 motels on Pennsylvania. You see, I wish I can tell you more of a story, but being alone, I only can give you a one-dimensional work being alone, unless I'm a little bit more organized. And then, anyways, you see the different kinds of shapes inside of this is because here's a Christmas tree. Because you can't get what's on each side. You understand? The pine needles, you're stuck. You're stuck to each side. And if you notice, here's the wheelbarrow. Here's the boat or the battleship. And then on this side, the dog is dead and the boot is still kicking you in the ass. Over here, you have yellow for Community Chest. You have orange for Chance. On Chance, it says, take a ride on Reading Railroad. So this is what we have in the Monopoly. And if you want to know, this one over here is B&O. Number 25 on the dice, but the 26th property equals to 51, which is the age of B&O, Barack Obama, right now. And now we're going to take this off and take this off and take this off. We looked at this. We looked at this. They're exactly alike. It's a design. It's not just thrown out there. It's calculated perfectly. And we're going to get rid of this. 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 So now, the other thing is, on the roulette table, okay, you see all these numbers here? On the roulette table, right in order, it shows you 3476, the size of the moon. If you want to calculate Titan, change that 0 to a 6, or a 5, or a 1. But do not keep it what it is, because that is what the 0. The 0 is 1 and 5. It's the circle. It's what's inside the circle. 2, 3, and 4 is 9. It can be 51, 56. But once it's 51, 56, you must multiply every single one of these numbers to find out where they fit in pi. 3 by 5 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 3 by 1 is 3. So you have 6, 3, 6, 9. This is the new numbers for this. This is all one-dimensional numbers. They must be multiplied by 3 to fit into a triangle. Do I think I know what I'm talking about, or do I really know what I'm talking about? I'm telling you, do you see number Pluto? 0, 0, because that's our entry and birth. It becomes 2366, in which it becomes 6, 999. Pluto becomes 6, 999. So 6 times 999 are pure or fine gold or silver, and look at the color they put on it. This number over here is 86, 1586. Titanium must be taking care of the egg that we live on. Somehow Aldous Huxley knew exactly what he was talking about, that somehow they're manipulating us even while we're being born. That's what Aldous Huxley did, and that can possibly be true just because we can't imagine it. Wow, this is 16 minutes. Where do we get the 7th gate from? The 7th gate is created by 2 triangles, and inside the triangles you put a 0 in here and a 0 in here, and it makes the opening, and it makes it round. It creates this inside to become round, obligated, because the O, okay, cut out the center and it left a mark on the 7. So it makes its, how can I say it? It makes its shape like this. And then one on this side, it becomes alpha omega. Another thing, did we show this already? I think so. That was the aleph. Another thing about the moon, like I showed you in numbers, 3 times 4 times 7 times 6 equals 512 memory. 5 times 12 is 60 seconds on the clock. 60, okay, or actually 5 by 12 is 60, or 5 times 1 times 2 is 10. 10 equals 16p. Do you see the 16 in there? Did I have the 16 on this page? No, I didn't. 16p. So p or pi, because the French say it a little bit differently, becomes 60, becomes 66, and 66 becomes 99, and that's Jupiter. So there's communication going on with our moon. That's most definitely right. 3 times 4, 3 plus 4, equals 12 and 7, 19. 3 times 19 equals 57, and again, we hit on ISON. So I'm going to try and get to the end here. I wanted to show you something different. Yes, 1991. 19, and then 91 reverse. If you go 13 times 7 equals 91. So it seems like Earth and Mars, 3 and 4, that equals 19, now has a separation between 91 as the spirit, which are the 13 cards in the deck. It's 19 plus 72, and 72, remember the 72s and 27? It stands for red, it stands for brown, and it stands for Hitler. The 72 in between, but there's only 17 in between, because you don't want to touch the 19 and you don't want to touch the 91. So it's 71, and then the 19 is 90, and then the 91 is 181. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8. 17, 1 times 8, 1 plus 8. 17, 1771. Just to say 1771 and how it's really expressed, in the word 10, T-E-N, I'm going to try and write it down. There's a design in it. I really, okay, in the word 10, if you look at the N letter, it looks like an A. 1 plus 4 equals N, the 14th letter. An A TE10, TEA Tea Party. There's some, so we did 1991, and 19 plus 91 is 110 stories of the Twin Towers. Well, they were, but now they're all on the ground. Oh my God. Yeah, we had it. You see, it's right over here, 72, 128 Hitler. The difference between 19 and 72, 91. 1 plus 71 equals to the 72. Why? Because number 36 and number 36 is 72. We minus 1 because it's reconnect and overlapped, and I'm really not sure of the answer, and creates the egg. Now, what does that mean? That means 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 equals to 15. And it equals to an egg. That could be the titanium egg. 12. Okay. If you listen to 12 and then you say sun, it says 11. Because inside 12 is the start to go back to 11. 12, 11. And also says student. Venus, Venus, love, L-V-E, love. Nest, Venus. Love nest. Place a lot of us want to be. So then again, we have one more thing to go. Is, let me see this paper. Is in French, I spoke to it once, is they say, instead of saying 16, 17, 18, they say 10, 7, 10, 8, and 9. 8 is the house. 10 is the house. 8 is our world, our connected world of H and I, the mind spirit. 7, 8, and 9 equals 27. 10, 19, 27. 8 and 9 is 17 plus 0. This would mark 17. 1 and 7 is 8. And then 1 and 8. 1 and 8 is 9. 2 and 7 become 9. And the short and the long count, 27 and 18 is 45. Add up from 1 to 9, that equals 45. And there's a lot more. There's a lot more. I don't even know which way to go next. So we used Venus. We used, how about, no, we can't do too many things in one. Let's just stop. I'll pick up on something later. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Just to say in blank whether I can explain everything properly or not. Everything is inside the games, and I'm quite sure if we had some intelligent people who understood numbers, who understood definitions, people who read Bibles, people who create games, people who create the dice and the odds, these people will have answers deeper than what I have, and then you put that Bible in front of it and it changes everything. Thank you for watching 7286 and 5775, the year we are in. 5775, 5775 is actually 5335. 3 by 5, 15. 3 and 5 is 8. 3 by 5 is 15. 3 and 5 is 8. 23, 23. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 and 6 is 11. Then we do it again. We got 11, 11. It's always going to work out because the numbers are perfect. I may just make mistakes. That's it. Thank you for watching. And the other part is, not all of us understand. Is that okay? Can I end it now? Don't worry. There's no one here.